value. I'm over here today to discuss on a topic, is diabetes can be prevented. So the first thing you have to understand, what is diabetes? Yes, everyone know whoever is suffering, whoever is not suffering. Majorly you have to understand what kind of diabetes can be prevented. If you understand the type of diabetes which can be prevented or which can be managed, which can be reversed. Unless you understand that, you just can't randomly follow something, in the time shift that I might get diabetes, because diabetes has become no more, it is kind of a hereditary unknown, because it also comes under a metabolic disorder, it also comes under a lifestyle disorder, it is also listed into a autoimmune. So it is like there are many other systems which is getting involved, and everyone who is suffering from one or the other kind of the diseases are ending up with diabetes. So it has become like a secondary also. So the primary positive factor could be any other autoimmune disease, but later on that is leading them to diabetes. Anyways, I spoke about that induced diabetes in my another video, like drug induced diabetes. There are many other induced types of diabetes. So coming back to diabetes can be prevented. Yes, it can be prevented. In the case of type 1 diabetes, I won't be able to tell you exactly by doing so and so protocols you can prevent your diabetes. There is no answer set in that, because let's say like whenever your insulin production in your pancreas itself has stopped, or it has really come down to a very minimal fraction, then we will be able to see that diabetes can be prevented. Because type 1 is that where your body or your pancreas is not able to produce or synthesize the insulin anymore. And definitely, so it is not exactly insulin resistance. The production itself is cut down in type 1 diabetes. So coming to type 2 diabetes, where there are two things could happen. One is the insulin production is decreasing, but not like it has stopped or completely less, like a type 1. Or the other way of looking into it is there is a insulin resistance. So majorly, I have also spoke about C-peptide secretion, and there is a test to know how much C-peptide is present in your body. Depending on that, we will be able to see. Coming back to type 2 diabetes, type 2 diabetes can be prevented, provided, first of all, you have to understand, are you a risk factor to get that type 2 diabetes? Especially, are you, like I would say, you have to question yourself, are you a prone person to get type 2 diabetes? So if you ask me, like, what exactly I mean when you're prone, first thing is you have to analyze your lifestyle. Since it's not when I speak about lifestyle, it's not just you have changed post COVID or got corona. I was suffering with that, so I was admitted. I happened to be under steroids. I was hospitalized. Later on, I have completely changed my lifestyle. That's not only the criteria to decide your diabetes, that is just a year or two. You have to analyze yourself. First, since birth, since your childhood. So I'll come to that point by point. One is you have to put yourself on your prone to a diabetes. That's type 2 I'm talking about. Second thing, are you a risk factor to get that diabetes? And you, after analyzing that, you have to make sure the percentage of chances of getting that diabetes. Next is there are hereditary stroke, hereditary which runs in your family. So these are the four main factors you have to understand, analyze, observe, and make yourself a list. Then it would be, and you will understand how much is the success rate in your innate individual to prevent that particular diabetes you are prone, or you're a risk factor, or hereditary, or how much is the chances of getting into that. So First thing we have to understand is the possible positive factor for diabetes is when it's a lifestyle analyzing yourself. Go back to your childhood. For example, you were born and brought up in a single place. So um, that's the first thing you keep in mind. The second thing is there are people who are like, we are all India are trouble. The child is being on a complete on India. Like their parents were in the government sector, they keep getting transfers, or they keep going to a different part of the India. So why am I talking about this? Is about I'm coming to food and the lifestyle. The particular food is grown over there. Let's say you are a person who was born and brought up in South India. So generally the South Indians, if we found down this side, they have a majorly the rice. Their staple food would be the rice, or maybe few millets like a rani, jova, foxtail. They make it a different recipe, but these comes to be that, and they have more of a leafy vegetables, and they also use more of steamed or cooked vegetable. If you're a vegetarian, that's more of a vegetable options are there. But let's say you are a person who was born and brought up in North India. They prefer wheat over any other millets. So majorly they uses wheat, and the red rice intake is less. And instead of more legumes, they choose majorly towards the dal and particular choosy with the vegetables. They use more of aloo, or we need more of a dairy products like paneer based food recipes. So you have to understand, if you are a person who is being born and brought up in that North India and you have been with the same lifestyle forever, then I would ask you to just push yourself towards any kind of a South Indian diet, or introduce any new vegetables. That wouldn't be necessary. Second thing, you are born and brought up over there, but you started roaming all over India. So your food habit starts changing yearly wise. That's a one possibility. The other possibility is wherever you go. For example, you have shifted to uh, maybe you were at the till age of 15 or 16, you are in your place. North India, and you shifted to South India after 16, and you live here for another 10, 15 years. So let's say you are around 26, 27. Doctor, do I have a chance of getting diabetes? Yes, you do. Provided you have analyzed yourself, because you have come to South India and you are not trying to have a staple food or the food which is grown in this climate or this soil. You are trying to have, let's say, Kashmir apple. So we generally in Bangalore, the apples in the rainy season generally gets the corn and the cough. So what we do is we encourage the seasonal foods. Or we started having a chapati over here, paneer over here, and you're not trying any other things, and you're just having only the dal. So yes, you are trying, your body is trying to accommodate and digest. I mean, your body is so beautifully designed to digest and eat according to that particular climate, whether we live in. So the water taken to grow a ragi is different. The water consumption to grow a rice is different. Wheat would be lesser water consumption. So when you have a wheat, we call in Ayurveda, it's a form of roksha. So it might cause your dryness, but you're staying in Bangalore, you're trying to eat a dry food, and the season over here during the winter will be more dry. So I'm completely confusing my metabolic system. That's the major thing you have to understand before you try talk about this prevention of the diabetes. So you have to analyze your individual body in so that you have to go back like 10 years from childhood, okay? So once you understand what I have done, the second common category I have to speak is about the post-corona. Like post-COVID, many people have started having this healthy lifestyle, or to lose weight. Many have adopted many keto diet or intermittent fasting. And I happened to be like 16, 17 years old. It was like, he said, doctor, okay, I can follow your diet, but can I go touching your mind to it? Is it okay? Is that any particular doctor has advised you to do that? He says, no. Then why did you start? I know I have done my YouTube, Google research, and I know that won't get me to proper health. That there is nothing called, see, there is only two things. One is health or ill health. So you are having a out of care or another care. If you are any deviation from the health, then you are sick. So you are into soundnesses. So it cannot just provide you a health on that. Anyways. So once you understand your from the childhood what kind of food habits in the lifestyle you are born and brought up, and have you changed like this, or have you confused your body over the years by staying in this particular area and I'm not trying to have that particular staple food, but I can feel the other like areas full. So that can have to consider. And the next screening, like I would say, is like post-corona or post any particular disease that have just changed drastically. For example, I was having a very sedentary lifestyle. And since that year, I go to gym, I work out every day. Like a person who has never worked out 30 years in his life, he started working out every day. Within like a 30 of facing it. So once you are able to understand that you have so on and so on, pros and so on and so forth, then comes to be like, is that a strong hereditary in your family? Like my parents had it, my siblings had it, my grandparents had it. So maybe your parents or siblings had it. So it is like everybody is turning out to be diabetes maybe after 35 or after 45 years. Then you have to understand, yes, it is a strong hereditary in my family. Then I also have a chance of it. So that's a one more screening you have to do. So if at all, if you're coming around, if at all, if it is a yes, you are no prone, yes, are you a respecter, yes, is there a strong hereditary in your family, yes. If all these things, all the answers are yes, then yes, you have to be careful. And if it is a type 2 diabetes, definitely you can prevent it. So for the prevention, the chances to decide, these are one things matter. So once I'm able to understand all these things in that, then I'll be able to work on the prevention. So coming to a prevention part, so Dr. What exactly I have to do? So here you have to categorize yourself, let's say category A, category B. The category A is like he's a person who is born and brought up in the same place and he has a complete throughout his 20 or 30 years the same lifestyle and he's still existing in the same lifestyle. Then yes, there is a no much pressure on that category. The category B is like they have gone through a very drastic changes in their lifestyle. Like maybe they had a very hard-working lifestyle and they became sedentary, or they had very sedentary lifestyle and suddenly started a hard-working. These people have to be too more careful because they have more chances of getting it wrong. That it is. So for the both of that, category A or B, the intensity of lifestyle or whatever the change is required to do the prevention I'm going to tell you about. The intensity varies. That will be depends on the particular individual. So generally talking, the first correction I would say is about the diet. So when I talk about the diet, the major thing is food selection and having it on time, and the mistakes, whatever I was doing with my food. So I would suggest you to introduce anything new to your food. You just have to be careful. See, there are three building blocks for your body. It requires proteins, it requires carbs, plus energy, more of glucose, and it requires sugar, fructose, or glucose. So on these three things, are the basic building blocks of your body. Your body needs all the three things to survive. In that, the first thing is protein. So you have to always choose. I say to my patients, you should always choose proteins for your breakfast. So whatever the proteins you want to give, try to take it for your breakfast. Or whatever the carbs along with the proteins you add to it for your lunch, the lunch should be very light or easily digestible sugar or fructose, maybe fruits or light vegetables that we should give it for your dinner. That's the first thing. Second thing is, this is like the food selection, what you have to do. The second thing is the type of food intake. So generally they ask, if by the time I finish my work, I'll end up having vegetarian and so you can't. I keep my patients 8, 1 to 8. But if you could really do it like 7 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 7 o'clock, that is a very ideal time. In fact, once the you should have your dinner before the sun sets, the Surya working holidays. That is also a perfect time. Anyways, so if a I have a person who have erratic food timings, the first thing is you have to correct your food time. That should not be a problem. That can reappear in art in anyway. The food timings is very, very important. And I have also spoke about this Ahara Kala, which is and Aushadha Kala, which is explained in Ayurveda and why other videos. You can check into that as well. So once I do the food selection, once I do the type, then I next is how long I have to follow this. You have to follow as long as you don't want diabetes to come in your life. That's what we're trying to do. It's what we're trying to prevent diabetes. So we have no other choice. We have to do this. So the next prevention steps comes up to be as exercises. So patients ask me to should do cardio for the kind for dance classes and the other need. Some people say yoga is that fine because yoga I don't sweat. See, every person has his own interest. The only concern is you have to burn some calories and you should also have a peaceful and wide wedding burn of calories. So that also depends on the calories you take in. So how much you're able to burn out. So I won't work on the calories empty or the calories burned. But your blood glucose depends on that, the calories taken and the calories burned. But I always ask my patient, you have to sweat from your scalp. Your scalp should drink. And then you go wherever you know to be. You want to go to make out an archer like that, just please go. Work in a field that you won't get swell. So some people think like, no, I am already a hard worker. I walk around on bond. So I think stays. So yes, that non is so your routine. Never club this exercise and your routine. If your beat plan, we will steps. Like I work in an office where it doesn't have a lift. It has like 5 staircases. So yes, then no, I've been typing the 5 staircase fine staring building. Then that's your everyday routine. So that doesn't count as an exercise. Exercise is something you have to give your time for your body to heal or let's say it increases the blood circulation when it it pumps more oxygen into your body. So you are trying to be more, we call it as a prana. Prana correction, the volume of the particular dosha correction being in body happens when you also give your time to do any meditation or any breathing exercise. So divine body, I would say 60 minutes is very much necessary. Keep like 30 minutes for intense exercises of over a walk, like maybe 50 to 20 minutes of a brisk walk or a jog, and then slowly go to like 12 minutes or so on that. Sit back, relax, do a meditation, do some breathing exercises, done. So if you are a person who is not able to get it back, then you have to maybe like 45 minutes in the morning, 45 minutes in the evening. So you are done. Then if the journey for able to one stage, then 60 minutes. 60 minutes is minimum exercises I would suggest for. So that is a second step to prevent. The third step comes to your sleeping time. Sleeping time is very, very important. For example, let's say you have your dinner at 8 o'clock at night and you kept yourself up. You're not doing anything else, but your brain is working on gadgets or at doing something till 12:30, 1 hour. So until and unless your brain doesn't sleep, all other hours has to work. It cannot shut because your brain also needs energy. What is energy? Glucose. Glucose started burning. So post 8 o'clock, I am going to fast for almost 1 hours. If I had my dinner at 8, morning till 8, I will be eating anything. I'm not going to give any glucose to my body. And I spoke about liver keeping your energy, the off, glycogen, storing it, reusing it. That metabolism is already disturbed because you're very much prone to get diabetes. So I'm trying to make you understand how it is late, because when my patients comes to me, they'll be like, "Person, I come from work at 9 to 10. Can I just sleep a little bit?" But then if this whole Barbie, if you bark it, then you are not talking about prevention of it. I would say get up early in the morning, 5 o'clock. Well, if your work needs that, then you finish all the works there. And you finish your 8 o'clock dinner at your office or howsoever you want. See, it depends. If at all, if you guys really want to prevent it and don't want to end up with a linear diabetes or any diabetic complication, then you have no other choice for the prevention. The third step is the sleep time. What I spoke about is a diet, and then it comes to be exercises, and then comes to all sleepovers. And I will say this, there are a few more lifestyle changes, like if you're being really having any habits like alcohol, this movie. You can't stop it altogether once, make it slow, reduce it, ever try to stop. Or if you have a social drinker, then you reduce your frequency of drinking. For example, I'm having it after monthly once, have it too much once. So try to reduce the frequency gradually. That would also help. And if you would can introduce, if you were, this is only for a few specific people who are already into any kind of athlete sports. There might be many people who is like cycling or running, and they have been doing that like why 1 year badminton players, and they have stopped playing up post 35 or so, like what's there with the family. Guys, you are also very much prone to get into diabetes, so you have to make sure that you are trying to restart that. Or if you have really not taken up more than a 2 years or 3 years break, then start immediately. So if you want to make it a new hobby of your cycling or something, don't push yourself certainly drastically. Start cycling for a kilometer, then make it a 2 kilometer. Take a month or 2 months to increase 1 kilometer, but that's fine. Slow progression. And if you want to adopt to do it like weekly 3 times, is also okay, depending on like your time schedule and all. But never stress out. So when I ask you to do all these things just to prevent your diabetes, then this should not be introducing your new stress into, like doctor has asked me to eat at 8, so I have to rush. No, you had to make that as a lifetime or a life routine. That's called lifestyle changes. So changes will not happen just overnight. So if you have to do it very slow, gradually, then yes. So I think that Clara convinced all the points how you can prevent and how to analyze you are prone to diabetes. So this is about how can we prevent diabetes. So I have also spoke about the diet, exercises in my many other videos. Thank you.